Hey you guys, welcome to Pop Hearts TV. I am Annie and today I am interviewing Amanda Kate.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, I know kind of before we started, we were chatting a little bit about horses, but I was gonna like glam up for this interview, and then I had horse issues this morning. So I apologize for this is what I call my mom outfit, my horse mom outfit for the day. So
Well, I'm here for it, so I love it. So tell me a little bit about yourself and your music and just kind of your career and like what it's been like for you with your story. Give me a little bit of a background about you.
Yes, definitely. So, I am a country artist. I'm based here in Orange County, California. And yeah, so I've been singing pretty much my whole life. My mother was a musician, songwriter. And then about a couple of years ago, I've always kind of sang, whether it was in church or with bands, doing stuff in the studio. But a couple of years ago, I started to pursue it again professionally. And it really started. Ultimately, it was a very personal project, and it was a way my mom and I. She was diagnosed with cancer, and we wanted to do a body of work of all of the music that we had done together over the years. So it was a very personal project. It was never meant to be anything commercial. And then, kind of before I knew it, we started getting more attention around it, and people wanted me to play more shows, and they wanted to hear the music, and it ended up getting on kind of some playlists and things. And so here we are. It's a couple of years later. The album came out last year, but here we are, and it's just kind of taken off, and it's become the biggest blessing in my life. I'm so thankful that I get to do this and chase a dream, and yeah, so it's crazy. But country music I've been singing country since I was probably 2 years old. I tell people, I'm like, I've tried. Being a singer, you get sometimes hired to do different vocal things. So being out here in Southern California, Hollywood and the movie industry is right around the corner. And so I've had opportunities to do kind of some demo work and to sing on little, jingles and things like that. And it's never failed since I was 2 years old. They're like, can you make it sound not so country? And so it's funny. I'm like, country music is all I've known. It's home to me. I feel, yeah, I just feel really lucky to be doing what I'm doing.
Beautiful. And with your mom, it sounds like she has been or was such a guide for you in your own journey with music. And I know that she was a country singer.
Yep. So my mom was a performer, songwriter my whole life, but she started actually singing when she was like 16 years old. She moved to New York, and she sang with a group called the Doodletown Pipers. And then I think she was about 17, she got cast in the Dean Martin show as a Dean Martin gold digger. So she's been a performer her whole life. And then when she had me, she was obviously still singing and writing. And at the time, she was country music has been in my house and in my ears since before I was born. My mom, I think the Judds possibly might have been playing when I was born, because Winona Judd, it's just like it's just such nostalgic sound when I hear them. And so yeah, my mom was always and will always be such a huge influence, because she was really the first artist that ever kind of imprinted on me in form of songwriting and performing and all of that.
That's great. That's so amazing. So obviously your mom is a huge inspiration for you. Are there any other country artists that have been very inspirational in your own journey with songwriting or just even writing or any of that? Like, who has been like your top three favorite?
Yeah. Um, I think it always changes. Growing up, like I said, Winona Judd, I've always like loved her voice, because I've loved that, she brings such a soulfulness to country music. I love Faith Hill. She kind of has that blend between like country, soul pop, which I love. George Strait, I think when it comes to kind of the whole package, as far as performing, just his demeanor of who he is, like the way he brings so much authenticity into his live show, but also just him as a person. When you see his interviews and then you see him on stage, it really is like, it seems like the same person. You know what I mean? He is who he is, and I love that about him. But I love Celine Dion. I mean, there's those huge female vocalists that when you hear them, the Whitney Houstons, that I will always, you can't take anything away from them when it comes to their vocal ability. But yeah, I'm inspired by so many, and even some of the, the new artists that are coming out, whether it's, Kaylee Hammack, I like adore. I love her personality. I love her sassiness, on stage. And so she's a younger up and coming artist, but I feel like I get inspired all the time by, different artists, and it doesn't always have to be country either, but growing up, it definitely was the staples, the Faith Hills, Winona Judge, Shania Twain. That's seeing them perform and be on stage. That's what made me want to be a country artist.
That's so amazing. And so I actually, I love your song Healing When I Ride, and the video of that is so beautiful. So tell me more about like the inspiration behind that, and what that song means to you, and kind of give us like what the history of that was for you.
Yeah. So that song I wrote with my mom, and we wrote that really just about, we have horses, and that's been a huge part of my life. And when she got diagnosed with cancer, that was one thing that she didn't want to change. She didn't want to not be able to ride. She wanted to be able to constantly, even through chemo and whatever treatment she was doing, she wanted to get on her horse. And so she wrote this poem that she texted. She texted it to me, and essentially it's the lyrics to the song now. But it was all about how she found healing when she'd ride. And I was sitting down one day, and I was just, in my room, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just turn this into a song, because it was just so beautiful the way she had written it. And so I did. And then it just has become such an anthem for cowgirls and cowboys all over that do. I mean, when you have horses and you have that bond with them, how, incredible that connection is. And, there's a quote that I read, and there's something about the outside of a horse that's good for the inside of a man. And it's so true. When you're with them and you spend time with them, it's very therapeutic. And that doesn't have to be, related to like physical illness. It can be mental too. I have so many times when I need, this was my first Mother's Day without my mom. And the first thing I did, I was like, I gotta go ride. I want to go, and I want to go get on my horse and just go to the hills. And so I find healing when I ride. And so we wrote that song, and we did the video, and it's been the most incredible, it's been the one release that I've done where people have connected with it the most. And being a musician and a singer, and an artist, that's all that you want. You just want people to connect with what you're putting out. And so it's been really special to see that, that other people are connecting with that song that is so personal to me.
That's awesome. And I know that you're also a mom. And so how is that for you with your daughter? And do you take her horseback riding? Like, what is that like? Does she like music?
Yep. It's honestly, it's so special. I feel like I had a little girl so that I could have a riding partner for the rest of my life. And she adores being on the horse. I say, getting her on the horse is one thing. It's getting her off the horse that is a whole other. She will stay out there all day with me.
Oh,
Um, she's turning 3 this year, and so I'm in a saddle, and it's going to be really nice. It's an incredible bond that I have, like, that's like our thing together, like her and her daddy, like they obviously like play all the time, but like the horses is like our thing. And it's very special because that was my mom and I, horses is what we bonded over so much, horses and music. And now I'm able to do that with my little girl.
that's so special. And I know that especially with, your relationship with your mom, it must mean so much to you to have that now,
Yeah.
during this time, especially with even just in general with what's going on in the world, having that outlet to heal and
Oh,
to be able to
absolutely.
get outside. That's amazing. So tell me, like, what do you have coming up? Like, what are some projects that you have, that you're excited about? doing?
Yeah, so it's really crazy. I mean, as you can imagine, when COVID kind of hit, everyone's world turned upside down, you know. And so this year I had big plans. We're putting out a new album this next year, and um, I was in I was supposed to be in Nashville recording and kind of getting all the new music done, and so we've had to kind of slow down our process. We are releasing new music. It's coming out a little slower than my original plan, but that's okay. We're still getting it done. We ended up in the studio and in full masks and doing what we could to kind of get some of the new stuff done. But we have new music that's going to come out. I just released this last Friday, the Old Rugged Cross, which was an old hymn that I grew up singing in church. And I released it with Marty Rabin from Shenandoah. He came and did the duet with me, and it's so special. So that was the last single that we released. And then the next one, we're releasing a song called Buzzin', which I wrote probably like six or 7 months ago. And so we just finished that one in the studio. So we're gonna keep releasing music. I don't have any live shows to get people excited about or have to invite people out to. But I definitely we're figuring out some different things that we can do when it comes to production and trying to kind of invite people into my world when it comes to live music again. It won't be in person probably for a while, but we're still gonna put music out.
Totally. So where can everyone find your music and find you online?
Yeah, so if you search Amanda Kate on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, you could do a quick Google search and just type in Amanda Kate and my website. All of my information will pop up. But definitely, I love when people follow me on Instagram or Facebook and message me. You know, I do all of my own social and everything, so I love to hear from new fans and follow me on Spotify. Again, the new music, we're gonna have something new coming out probably every 4 to 6 weeks. So it's gonna be a fun year of new music and hopefully live shows soon. You know, who knows?
Yeah,
Hopefully,
fingers crossed.
yes.
Well, thank you so much, Amanda, for joining us. And we will also have your handle below. And we can't wait to hear all the music that you create and to see where this music journey takes you.
Thank you so much. This has been great.
Oh my gosh. Well, have a great day. And thank you guys for tuning in. And we will talk to you guys soon. Thank
Bye.
you, Amanda. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.